Hi, my name is Jim, and I'm recording today my garage project, installing a new floor. I decided to install a new floor on top of the existing floor. You can see that this floor here has previously had an epoxy on it, but something in the concrete mixture did not agree with the floor. This is a Sherwin-Williams floor. You can see the bubbles that it created. So I decided to go with a garage floor tile, and I selected the Techfloor, and this is the material that came with it. This is about 400 square feet, the space. So originally I had ordered 410 square feet. These tiles, there's 10 of them in a box, and I selected a gray with a black rubber. Now the reason I selected this, and I decided to do this video, I love YouTube, and whenever I do a project, I like to see a project like this and how somebody else did it. But this time I didn't see anybody who had done a Techfloor installation. So I decided to do this video. And the reason I selected this is it's only about 1/4 of an inch thick. You can see here. The other floors that I saw were done a very good job as well, but they didn't have the rubber. And one of the complaints I heard from other people installing floors is that once they try to get the car in the garage, the whole floor is moving. So I was hoping to avoid that with this. I ordered the tiles, and to my surprise, a day later I got a call from Techfloor, and a person on the phone who was a specialist on the floor offered to help me with the plan. And what I discovered is that I needed to order, in addition to the floor and to the edge pieces, this is the trim piece that goes at the end of this. There's 2 of them, each one. I also needed expansion. Now, I've seen some other floors that were installed on YouTube, and they talked about expansions on the floor and consequently buckling. What they recommended from Techfloor is that you do one of these expansion joints every 5 feet of space. So this is sufficient for it. So it increased the cost of the total project. For this project, about $1,300. And these are the tools that I intend to use with it. Just a straight edge from Dremel and my Dremel tool. I think this would work. Also some knee pads. I think I'm going to spend some time on the floor. And hammer and a little pencil there to just make some marks on the floor. So I'm going to get the project started, and I will give you a little update later. Thank you. So I started on this first row. You can see how it is. And also you can see that it does not move once you put it down, even if you try to shake it. But it does require some hard knocking to get it aligned, and then to get the 2 tiles to snap together. Now the advisor asked me to start with the tabs in the front, and I was planning to do it differently and to do the edge, the straight edge at the back. So when you get to the back wall and when you're starting on the left side, you're not doing any cutting. Now with the addition of some music, you can see how the first row looks and the expansion joints. My length is 19 feet from one end to the other of the garage. So I decided to do 4 feet, then an expansion joint, then 5 feet, then another expansion joint, another 5 feet, and then the last 4 feet. And I wanted to show you this, that in addition to the expansion joints, what I also received were these beveled edge expansion joints. And these are insert it right here, so even the joint can expand. That blue line that you see there can be removed at the end after the installation, so the floor moves freely. What the person on the phone explained is that once you open your garage floor, your garage door, the difference in temperature between the floor and the outside air is 13 or more degrees, which is going to cause warping if you don't have some of these expansion joints. And I've heard that from other floors that people installed, not Techfloor, from other YouTube videos. So we wanted to share that with you. So now about 40% done, and I will tell you, you definitely need the mallet. No question about it. In addition, I would also recommend some kind of ear protection, because as you're pounding on the floor, it will make some noise and you want to avoid that. So here's how it looks so far. And I'll have to see what I can do about those edges later on. But right now, this is where we are. And it's certainly very stable, and it's not moving or going anywhere right now. This is what's left. And here we are about halfway done now. You can see where this is. I put a row without connecting it here, just to see whether it's going to allow me to cut and gauge it from the front here, how far back to set it off. And definitely you will need the mallet, no question, as more time has gone by. And then you'll get more expert in hitting it exactly 4 times per side. And Techfloor also has a 3-inch piece that you could put at the end. So after I'm done with the whole project, I'll see how close this is and whether I need to do that too. This is how the floor looks. Mostly finished. And I put one car in here so you could see how it lays flat. I can tell you now, after putting it down, there is no way this floor is going to move as you try to bring the car in. Still have not taken the blue tapes off, as you can see. Got the floor wet, and you are not going to slip on this floor. One of the other things that I've seen on YouTube is some of the installations required on other kind of floors made it very slippery after it got wet. Now you see the edges. This is the next thing I'm going to be working on. And I'll give you an update on that as soon as that's completed. This is the side by the door. I left a little bit of space here. If I had done better planning, I would have moved it a little bit closer to the edge, and I would avoid it cutting on the other side. It would have fit completely. And you can see how the edge looks. You just need to leave about 1.5 inches on each side. So this is the status now. You can see how some of the end pieces have been cut. And this is an alternate to the knee pads. This is another way for you to get around and install this. And I will show you that the Dremel worked pretty well, but it does have a challenge. When you first cut it, the Dremel is going to leave a little bit of this at the edge, but with a sharp blade, it will come like this, so you will not see any problem with that. All right, here it is. The project is completed, and I wanted to just show it around a little bit with the blue tape removed, how it looks in the garage. And you can see that the floor has a lot of advantages. I have not seen any other floor that has those built-in expansions, so that the expansion also comes with an end piece of the expansion, so the whole thing can move. Nothing else seems to have something like that that's built in that makes it convenient. The other thing is, because of the black dots, it gives it a nice pattern without having to use multiple colors and do anything too complicated in the garage. Because you can see the tape is a lot of it, and it's sticking. Try to take it off soon after you install it, because after you leave the garage door open and it's a warm day, it's going to make it stickier, or if you park a car over it. Another tip is when you cut it, this is the tile, because of the rubber parts in the middle, when you cut the edge, avoid cutting it in the middle of the rubber. So, cut it to the closest spot if you can, but not leaving it with a piece of the black showing. It's not going to make it a pretty effect. But you can see it all came, these edges were cut. This was 1.5. You can see it's pretty even cut. It's not bad. The Dremel does a good job on it. I am 100% sure that it's not slippery now that I've seen it wet. And I've also seen the car go over it. Once the tile is down, it's a very, very nice effect. So, hope you enjoyed the tape. And if you have any comments, please leave them and I'll get back to you. Thank you.